How to make any woman instantly chase you, even if she isn't interested. Female psychology, listen up. This is the reality check you've been waiting for. Relationships aren't just about feelings and fairy tales. They're a game. And if you're tired of losing, it's time to change the way you play. If you've ever felt confused, powerless, or just plain clueless about how to get the upper hand in your relationships, that ends now. The truth might make you uncomfortable, but it will also make you unstoppable. Here's the deal. Understanding how to navigate a woman's mind isn't about manipulation. It's about awareness. Do you want her to think about you non-stop? To chase you instead of the other way around? Then forget the tired advice you've been hearing. This is about working smarter, not harder, and learning how to use psychological leverage to your advantage. Let's get one thing straight. Women are not these delicate, innocent creatures the world pretends they are. They're sharp, strategic, and know how to get what they want. If you think you've been playing fair, newsflash, you've been outplayed. It's time to stop being reactive and start being proactive. Now you might be wondering if all this feels a bit too much. Should you really approach relationships this way? Let me put it this way. Morality is a luxury for people who don't understand the rules of the game. You don't have to hurt anyone. But if you want to stay ahead, you can't afford to be naive. What follows isn't for the faint of heart. It's for men ready to step up, take control, and understand what truly drives attraction, commitment, and obsession. So, are you ready to shift your mindset? Let's dive in. 1. Logic doesn't work. Master emotional responses. Let's cut to the chase. If you think logic will win her over, you're playing the wrong game. Women don't operate on reason the same way men do. Emotions are their currency, and if you want to influence her, you need to understand how to make her feel. This isn't about trickery. It's about understanding how to spark the kind of emotions that keep you at the forefront of her mind. Here's what you might have noticed. One moment, she's sweet and loving. The next, she's upset about something that seems completely irrational. You're left scratching your head, trying to explain your side. But by the time you've sorted out the facts, she's already steering the emotional narrative. Time to flip the script. If you want to stay in control, stop chasing clarity and start creating emotional tension. The secret is unpredictability. Keep her on her toes, not knowing what's coming next. When you can spark excitement, joy, jealousy, or even intrigue, you'll become the source of emotional highs she can't get enough of. How to create emotional spikes. Start with small actions that pull her in and push her away. Compliment her one day, then be a little distant the next. It's not about being mean. It's about keeping the dynamic alive with curiosity and suspense. People are wired to chase emotional highs, and when those feelings are tied to you, she'll keep coming back for more. 2. Understanding and using her fears. Let's be real. Fear is one of the strongest motivators there is. This isn't about exploiting someone's vulnerabilities in a cruel way. It's about recognizing the dynamics that already exist. Women, like anyone else, have fears. Fear of rejection, of being abandoned, of not measuring up. And those fears often shape how they behave in relationships. When you know what someone fears, you gain a deeper understanding of what drives them. This knowledge isn't just power, it's influence. The key is to subtly tap into her insecurities without pushing her over the edge. For example, if she values your opinion and fears losing you, create moments where she questions how secure she is in your world. This doesn't mean tearing her down, but rather creating a space where your approval feels meaningful and necessary. A practical example. If she fears being replaced, don't constantly reassure her that she's the one. Instead, let her see that you have options, even if you're choosing her. It's about maintaining a dynamic where she values the connection and works to strengthen it. Remember, the goal isn't cruelty, it's balance. When she sees you as someone worth keeping, she'll naturally invest more effort into the relationship. 3. Why emotional availability isn't always attractive. Here's a hard truth. Being too emotionally available can make you seem weak. Society tells men to be open and vulnerable, but the reality is, women are drawn to men who have emotional control. Think about the most captivating characters in movies or books. They're the ones with a bit of mystery. James Bond doesn't pour his heart out. He shares just enough to intrigue, never enough to overwhelm. How to balance vulnerability and strength. Being emotionally intelligent doesn't mean being an open book. It means choosing the right moments to share something meaningful. Instead of spilling every thought or feeling, focus on moments that highlight your resilience or strength. This shows her that you're human, but still in control of your world, and that's incredibly attractive. Wrapping up, take charge of your relationships. Here's the bottom line. Relationships are about balance and influence. This isn't about manipulation or playing games for the sake of it. It's about understanding the unspoken dynamics that create strong, lasting connections. When you learn how to master emotional tension, recognize her fears and maintain your own mystery, you're not just another guy vying for her attention. You're the one she can't stop thinking about. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more insights into the psychology of relationships. Leave a comment below. Have you tried these techniques, or are you planning to? Let's hear your stories and strategies. 1. Make her emotionally dependent. You can use your understanding of her fears to create emotional dependence. Take Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, for example. Anastasia Steele is constantly on edge, terrified of losing him. Why? Because he expertly taps into her fear of abandonment. He draws her in, only to pull away, making her feel like she'll never be enough for him. It's not just his wealth or looks that keep her hooked. It's the emotional roller coaster he takes her on. One moment she feels wanted, the next she's left wondering if he'll stay. That fear of losing him keeps her emotionally tethered to him. That's how you take control, by making her feel like losing you is the worst thing that could happen. Now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying you should terrorize women or play mind games for the sake of it. What I'm suggesting is that you understand what motivates her behavior, and fear is a huge factor. Once you know her fears, you have leverage. Whether it's the fear of being alone, being replaced, or something else, once you find that soft spot, you'll be the one setting the tone of the relationship. Bottom line, learn to recognize her fears, and you'll have a level of control that she won't even see coming. It's not about playing nice, it's about playing smart. Fear is a powerful tool, and when used properly, it will keep her right where you want her. 2. Master the push-pull technique. If you want to keep a woman on her toes, always thinking about you, there's a technique that works like a charm, the push-pull. It's simple, but highly effective. You give her attention, then pull away. You make her feel special, then suddenly become distant. This back and forth creates emotional tension. And trust me, emotional tension is addictive. It keeps her coming back for more because you've created a psychological need for your validation. Let's be honest. Women thrive on emotional highs and lows. Too much attention, and she gets bored. Too little, and she feels neglected. But if you master the balance of both, she'll never know what's coming next. And that's what keeps her hooked. Here's how the push-pull works. You create an emotional tug-of-war that keeps her guessing about where she stands with you. It's like a psychological dance that leaves her emotionally tangled. She'll be fixated on what you're thinking instead of focusing on her own needs. A real-life example? Just look at the roller coaster relationship between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. The push-pull dynamic was at play the whole time. Justin would shower Selena with love and attention, making them seem inseparable. That's the push. Then, without warning, he'd pull away, flirt with someone else, or just go cold. That's the pull. This wasn't just tabloid gossip. It was a classic example of how the push-pull dynamic keeps someone emotionally invested. Selena herself mentioned how hard it was to move on because she was always left wondering, what if? That's the magic of this technique, the emotional uncertainty that keeps her hooked. It creates a loop where she never really feels like she's out of the game. How to use the push-pull technique. Push. Start by giving her attention. Compliment her, take her out, make her feel special. Let her know she's a priority. Pull back. Then suddenly become distant. Don't reply as quickly. Act busy. This sudden change will throw her off balance, and she'll start chasing your attention again. That emotional tension will keep her coming back for more. Maintain mystery. The key is never letting her feel too secure. As soon as she thinks she's got you figured out, she'll lose interest. Women are attracted to the unknown and the unpredictable. Keep her guessing about your next move. The push-pull technique creates a cycle of emotional highs and lows, which makes her emotionally invested in you. Don't be the predictable guy who's always there. Be the one who keeps her guessing, and she'll keep coming back. Just like we watched Selena and Justin go back and forth for years, you get to control the rhythm, and she'll dance to your beat. 3. How to subtly undermine her confidence. It's time for a wake-up call. If you've been playing it nice for years, it's no wonder you're not getting the results you want. Women don't want to be with someone who's a pushover. They're looking for a man who can subtly challenge them, someone who can undermine their confidence just enough to make them crave his approval. This isn't about being cruel. It's about using psychological tactics that create dependency without being overt. It's about knowing how to keep her emotionally invested while maintaining control of the dynamic. How to keep her seeking your approval. Subtly undermining her confidence is a powerful tool for keeping her emotionally hooked. Women are constantly getting attention and compliments, but what happens when you're the one who doesn't fawn all over her? Suddenly, she starts questioning herself, and that's when you gain the upper hand. It's not about being rude, it's about playing the game smartly. Take Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl as an example. He's far from being the typical nice guy. He knows exactly how to get under Blair Waldorf's skin by making her feel both wanted and insecure at the same time. One moment, he'll shower her with compliments, and the next he'll throw in a subtle critique. It's not just for drama, it's a strategy that works in real life, creating a psychological push-pull dynamic that keeps her on her toes. When you subtly shake her confidence, you make her crave your validation. She'll begin seeking your approval, wondering how she can earn your favor. This isn't about breaking her down, it's about creating a dynamic where she values your opinion above all else. Once she starts doubting herself, she'll look to you for reassurance, and that's where you take control. How to subtly undermine her confidence. Compliment her genuinely. Start with something sincere to make her feel good. Follow it up with a subtle critique. For instance, tell her she looks beautiful, but mention her outfit might not be ideal for the occasion. This creates a balance that makes her feel good, while also sparking doubt, encouraging her to seek your approval even more. Pull back after giving attention. Show interest, make her feel special, then suddenly become distant. This will leave her wondering what she did wrong and motivate her to win your attention back. Another important factor is mystery. Women are drawn to men who are hard to read. Keeping her guessing about your feelings and intentions makes her more intrigued, and intrigue keeps her coming back. The goal here isn't to destroy her confidence, but to make her depend on your approval. When she's seeking reassurance from you, you've established control, and she stays emotionally invested. Why emotional availability can make you seem weak. It's time for a reality check, Being too emotionally available can actually make you seem weak in a woman's eyes. Society has told you to be open, share your feelings, and wear your heart on your sleeve. But the truth is, women aren't drawn to men who lay all their emotions out there. They admire men who can keep their emotions in check and maintain an air of mystery. When you're overly available emotionally, you become predictable. And let's face it, predictable is boring. Women aren't attracted to men who are always there, always sharing, always open. They crave excitement and the challenge of figuring you out. If you're an open book, there's no mystery, and that kills attraction. Think of James Bond. He's the perfect example of emotional control and mystery. Bond never spills his heart to anyone. He keeps his emotions locked away, which makes him irresistibly intriguing. Women want to be the one who gets to see the vulnerable side of him, but if he were too emotionally open, he'd lose his charm. How to be emotionally available, but in a strategic way. Be selective about sharing. Share enough to show you're human, but keep the deeper stuff to yourself. Keep her guessing. Don't reveal everything about how you feel or what you're thinking. This keeps her emotionally engaged and wondering where you stand. Show strength in vulnerability. When you do share, highlight your resilience and your ability to handle challenges. Show that you're a man who can handle anything, especially her emotions. Remember, emotional availability isn't about spilling your heart every time. It's about being emotionally intelligent, understanding your feelings without letting them control you. Show empathy and be a good listener, but keep your inner world private. That balance of mystery and emotional strength is incredibly attractive. So here's the truth. Relationships are about psychological power. It's not about being cruel or manipulative. It's about understanding the dynamics and using them to your advantage. When you know how to control the emotional battlefield, you'll always be one step ahead. If you found these insights useful, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on the psychology of relationships. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Leave a comment. Do you use any of these techniques, or are you thinking about trying them? Remember, knowledge is power. Stay sharp, stay strategic, and take control of your relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.